other than Hollywood, the place where celebrities are working the most these days is Atlanta. Georgia, thanks to all the studios there, Tyler Perry's studio, a big hotspot for celebrities. And we have spoken to a lot of people who work with those celebrities, and they are not happy about the decision by the governor of Georgia to reopen many businesses on as early as Friday. You can open hair salons, nail salons, it's barbershops, all can open on Friday.
And like Charles says, not everybody is down with that. Notably, very notably, the mayor of Atlanta, and I'm just going to full disclosure, I am awestruck by her. I have watched her this week, and she, we've talked about this earlier with Gavin Newsom. She is, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the real stars to emerge from this crisis. And I think the message that she's been sending has been so powerful and good. So we wanted to have her on. We're really honored. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms is joining us right now. Mayor, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me.
So Mayor, it's notable. As I said, we spoke to a lot of people in the industry there, and they almost every single one of them raised your name. They said, look, we agree with Mayor Bottoms and that this is probably too early, not probably, it is too early to be opening these sorts of businesses.
Now, and let me just correct something, Harvey. I appreciate, as my mother says, thank you for the rumor, calling me a star, but our real stars are the people who are going out each and every day, our healthcare professionals, our sanitation workers, and so many people who have to get out so that we can simply function as a society. But to your question, just about where we are as a city and as a state, I am dumbfounded. That's probably the best word that I can use, that we are opening up hair salons and massage parlors and barbershops in the middle of a pandemic. Certainly everybody is going stir crazy. I have 4 kids in my house who are doing cartwheels at the governor's announcement because they actually think it means something in this house. But people are ready to get out, but we have to be responsible. And there's no way that you can socially distance when you're cutting someone's hair or if you're giving them a massage. And I am extremely concerned, especially for the African American community, where there's a barbershop and a hair salon on every single corner, that for as hard hit as we have already been, that this is going to compound a problem that we don't have the ability to control at this point.
Mayor, the Attorney General Barr came out today and said that he felt that the shutdown and the self-quarantine treaded on the civil liberty rights of Americans. And he seemed to be suggesting, this was borderline illegal, without saying he was going to court. I'm wondering what your reaction to him is.
I have so many concerns about our federal government and the rhetoric that comes from the Trump administration. I'll just add this to the list. This is not about trampling upon anybody's rights. This is about making decisions between life and death. And that's where we are globally. I don't know of any country that we've seen who experience the wave of this pandemic before the United States. I don't know of a country that's gotten to the other side better for it because they allow people or release restrictions. This is a global pandemic. And so there are restrictions that you have to put in place to preserve public health for the good of the entire nation. But it doesn't mean that we're trampling upon anyone's rights. And I think it's irresponsible for the federal government to continue to message in that way, because government is supposed to be a part of the solution and not compound the problem.
Mayor, one of the things that Harvey and I were talking about this morning, we're unclear on how the governor can say that his word supersedes local politicians, local leaders like yourself, mayors, or even county supervisors. That why does the governor get to just sort of trample on your ability to lead your city?
So it's really interesting that you asked that question, because our governor often references his respect for local control. And that was part of the challenge that we had early on. We didn't have any consistency in terms of what was coming down from our state, and we were piecemealing solutions throughout the state. As mayor of Atlanta, we were very aggressive in shutting down our city, and that's why our numbers have been as good as they are, and we've not seen our healthcare system overrun. So he did come in eventually, very late compared to other states, and issue a shutdown order, but we are now the first to open, and it's been without any type of input from local leaders, not just from me as mayor of Atlanta, the largest city in our state, but from mayors throughout the state. We were all caught off guard by his announcement. It was not with our input, and I think had there been an opportunity for at least to have us weigh in, we could have expressed concerns that are particular to our respective communities. And I want to be clear, he's the governor, so he doesn't have to pick up the phone and call me, but certainly someone from his team could have called, and we could have had a productive discussion before this decision was announced.
I understand that you weren't called, that the mayor of Augusta wasn't called, but you know what Charles and I were talking about is, like, for example, in California, there are certain laws, state laws prohibiting smoking in certain areas, and there are certain cities that have even stronger laws. You know, Beverly Hills, even Los Angeles. So cities can make things more stringent. Why can't you?
If the law does not allow me to do something more stringent, certainly I still have the power of my voice. And that's why I'm speaking with you today. It's why I've been speaking every opportunity that I get. And what I am saying to people is stay home, exercise your common sense. It doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what the governor says or even what the president of the United States says. The people who I am listening to are the infectious disease experts. I'm listening to the people who work in our hospitals saying, you're killing us because you're not staying at home. That message is simple. That crosses all political lines. And I think that people just have to make choices that will allow them to live to fight another day.
Mayor, we're out of time, but I got to ask you the hardest question. So you got 4 kids. Are the 4 kids going to listen to the governor or the mayor?
Well, what I said to my 18-year-old is, if you leave this house, you better pack a bag that will last you throughout the pandemic, because you will not be coming back in here. So he's home today.
Yes, the mayor wins. The mayor wins in that household.
Hey,
well,
Mayor,
listen,
it is
I
an
want
honor.
to say that what you said about maybe the governor has the law and you can't supersede his word, but you are getting the message through, because the people we spoke to said they have heard what you've said and they are choosing to stay home. So this will be very interesting on Friday to see how many people do actually open. But thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate the time.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you for allowing me to share this with you all. I appreciate you. Be safe.
And
Yes.
you too. And
You
your
too.
kids too, Mayor.
Yes.